Honorable Chair, you said data is new oil, and Ambassador Pardesi said data is new currency. And it is said that oil is black gold and data is digital gold. And a scholar wrote, China is Saudi Arabia of data, which has opaque data policy, and it has created firewall. No one can invade its physical, digital, or cyber space. So in such scenario, who is going to extract oil from this Saudi Arabia? Sir, it's my humble request to you. Kindly respond, since you spend quality 6 years of your diplomatic life in China. Yes, sir, this is for you. And you also very well know how Chinese are concerned with Mianji. So keeping all these aspects in mind, sir, kindly respond. Mianji, they are very conscious about their face, reputation, self-respect.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, sir, please.
Okay. So there are two questions which really are dealing with the technology aspect. Would you like to please?
Yeah. So we will be collecting quite a lot of data in real time. That doesn't mean that the analysis can be done in real time. And the important thing would be to make the data available in quasi-real time, meaning that it requires a little bit of curating, it requires a little bit of analysis, which can take several days, and after that it will become available. There are other technology questions.
How to
how to collect data. You see that it depends on the context, because as I told you about COVID data, it has to be done in a very non-technical way, because that is the way the data is available. Whereas if you want to collect data which becomes available from space, for example, so that can be done quite rapidly, quite reliably, and it can be analyzed quite fast also. So how to collect data and how to analyze it is very much a question of the context. As the technology develops, everything becomes easier, but the amount of data becomes so vast that analyzing it becomes that much more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think that covers the question. With regard to China, let me point out that we have already been focusing attention on the fact that actually India is one of the data powers, in the sense that if you take into account the Aadhaar ID cards, if you take into account the payment system, that is not only a service, but it generates huge amount of data. So there are a number of areas where actually India is generating the amount of data that is being generated. That is not the issue. Actually, considerable amount of data is being generated. The issue is, what do you do with it? So I think in that respect, the difference is that in China, as far as I can see, a lot of that data collection and data analysis is, number one, very domestic. It becomes, we are talking about ethics, we are talking about transparency. Here it is almost like a surveillance state. You want to know each and everything what the citizen is doing. I think in India and many other countries, the aspect of privacy is very important. And so that is why we are looking at, say, a data privacy legislation. So I don't think we should look at this only in terms of, that it's currency or it is producing wealth. How that wealth is being produced is also very important. And that is why ethical questions become extremely important. I don't think we have to follow China. I think we have enough resources to match what China may be doing. But I think how we should distinguish ourselves is whether we are able to use it in an ethical manner and in a manner which also not only promotes India's development, but in the context of G20, is this a public good that we can share with others? So in that context, Ambassador Pardesi will be the person who will ensure that it is not only currency, but it is something that produces wealth for all of us. Right? Thank you very much for your attention. Let me, first of all,